Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to do a Fieldstrip and lubrication video on my new Sig Sauer P226 MK25. I already got all three magazines and wiped off the factory oil from them, so now I'm going to do my pistol. You guys probably all know how to Fieldstrip it, but just in case, you pull the slide back and lock it, and then you got this takedown lever. You just rotate it down 90 degrees, and you pull your slide back and let it go. Like that. Then you have your recoil spring and recoil spring guide rod. That comes right out of there. And this is a really nice recoil spring. It's braided steel, and then it has orange paint on the side that goes onto the recoil guide rod. Okay? And then you got your barrel. Like that. It's got a interesting coating on it. The 220 that I used to have had like a shiny bluing. This is kind of like a rough, flat black. Kind of really like it. And then it has a polished feed ramp, so that's nice. And I can see that they test fired it at the factory, so that's good to know. Then you got your slide, and that's pretty much it. You take your recoil spring off the guide rod, like that, and the side with the orange paint goes on first, like that. And you got your slide, and the gun's not really dirty. It's a little bit dirty from the test firing, but my main goal here is just to get the factory oil and grease off, because I don't like shooting my guns out of the box with factory oil. I like to lubricate it with this stuff, this Hoppe's, and I have some Hoppe's gun grease. This stuff's pretty old, but it's still good. So the first thing I'll do is just wipe down the rails and the inside. Anywhere that I see factory oil, I'll just wipe it all off. And the hammer. Get inside the rail here. Q-tips work pretty good, but I forgot to grab some. Alright, that's pretty much it for the frame. And then just wipe all the parts off. The way I see it, the oil that they put on the gun from the factory is not really meant for lubrication for when you shoot it. It's more of a preservative just to make sure the gun doesn't rust, because after they make it, it could sit for months before they sell it at a gun shop. I read that somewhere, I forget where, but it's more of like grease and oil just to preserve it. It's really not the same stuff as lubrication to prevent parts from, wearing and rubbing up against each other. Now I'm not gonna oil the inside of the barrel because I'm gonna shoot this very soon, so there's really no point in doing that. Plus it is chrome lined. And then I'll just get the spring, just wipe it off. And the slide, just get in there. And yeah, this thing's really not dirty at all. I'm getting a little bit of black from rubbing up in here, but that's just from them shooting it at the factory. Okay, that's pretty much it, I think. This pistol's really made nice. A lot of engineering went into it. It's a $900 pistol. Lots of machine work. Okay, that's pretty much it. So now, the first thing I do is I get my grease. put some grease on the rails. And you don't need a lot, just a little dab like that. And you want to put the grease up towards the front. If you put it back here, when you caulk it, all the grease will come out. So just put some up here, like that. I usually put 2 dots of grease on each side. So there's 2. And it's real important to do this for your guns, because if you shoot your guns not lubricated, the parts will wear a lot faster. When you do this, it really keeps the parts, they'll last longer. And then same in here, you got to put grease on the slide inside this channel here. Okay, and then I like to put a little bit of grease right here on this bar. This is where your sear rides, and it's also where the hammer rides when the slide's going back and forth. So it kind of has a lot of friction on it, so I like to put some grease on there, like that, just a little bit. And then I'll get a little bit of grease and put a little bit like on top of the rail, like that. And then I'll just put a little bit on the hammer right here. It just reduces friction. It's pretty good for the gun. And that's pretty much it for grease. Now I'll get my oil. I'll pretty much just lightly coat all the parts. So I'll just put 1 drop here, and I'll just rub it in with my fingers. And now the finish on here is kind of like similar to parkerization, so you might need a little bit more oil than you would if it was like blued or something. Okay, and that's pretty good. And just lightly get the recoil rod, or the recoil spring, and put it back. And the side that's painted always goes on the rod, like that. So the side that's not painted is like on this side. Okay. Then I'll get my barrel. I'll put a dot here and a dot back here. I'll just rub it in. Like that. And then in here, in the slide where the barrel comes in contact up here, I'll just put a dot in there and rub it in like that, and get it on the sides as well, because it's just good. Okay, and then right in here, just do that, and that's pretty much it. You really don't need to do anything else. And then you just gotta put it back together. So we'll put the barrel in, the recoil spring, and the guide rod. Alright, and then just put it back together. And when you put the slide on, sometimes the grease will get all bunched up. Just kind of distribute it the best you can. Like that. And then I like to cycle it a few times to distribute the grease. Okay, and then you'll see like excess grease coming out. Just wipe that off. Like that, and then there's a little bit up here. And there it is, and then just wipe off any oil that you see. And actually, what's happening is that oil is working its way into this teal, so it'll help preserve it. This is a stainless teal slide, so you really don't got to worry about rust, but it's still good to lightly coat it with oil. Okay. And there it is. That's how I condition all of my semi-automatic pistols. It's pretty simple. And it's ready. It's ready. So hopefully I'll be taking this out to shoot it pretty soon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I can already feel a difference in the smoothness of the slide to frame. Feels really good. And there it is. Alright, see you guys soon.